Remember, remember the 5th of November, Gunpowder, Treason and Plot. I see no reason the 5th of November should ever be forgot. Yes, it's the Gunpowder Plot anniversary, Guy Fawkes Day. This is particularly in the UK, this is a big night. When I was a kid, we called it Cracker Night, and we didn't really know about the Guy Fawkes thing. We'd have a bonfire, let off fireworks before they all got made illegal in Australia. And in England, in more than slightly perverse remembrance of a plot to blow up the Houses of Parliament, people will often have a dummy of a character they call the Guy and ask for a penny for the Guy in remembrance of Guy Fawkes, who wasn't even the primary conspirator, but he's the one whose name we remember from a group of Catholics who had been suffering a lot of repression from the Protestant Parliament and King, and their ultimate revenge plan was to blow up the Parliament while the King was there. The plot came undone for a number of reasons, and one could say part of their reasons was they were actually very poor planners and they made a couple of mistakes. But it didn't happen. Would have been a really significant change to history if they had managed to blow up the Houses of Parliament. But every year it gets remembered in the UK and in some other places. I thought, that's a good enough theme for a cocktail as any. So I'm going to do for you right now a cocktail calling the Gunpowder Plot. When I searched online for cocktails either named Guy Fawkes or Gunpowder Plot or inspired by it, there are a lot of different things. There's no sort of commonly viewed, this is a Guy Fawkes cocktail, this is a Gunpowder Plot cocktail. Some people have done outlandish things with actually infusing gunpowder into the spirit, like gin. A lot of the time they're smoked, a lot of the time there's fire, and honestly, I'm scared of fire, but I've gotten talked into it for this. So stick around, I might burn down my kitchen and end up getting divorced, but we'll see what will happen. Like I said, there was no set cocktail that anyone agreed on was the Gunpowder Plot, so I'm adapting some recipes I saw with a few different components, so let's get into it. The first element I'm putting in is 1.5 ounces of gin, because gin just seems quintessentially English to me, even though this is an Australian gin I'm using, because I like to buy local. Remember, when you're buying local, you're not an alcoholic, you're patriotic. So I'm just supporting small business. This is from the Tiny Bear Distillery here in Melbourne. They have cute bear mascots for all their different gins. And you see this cute little bottle, I got a sample pack. In fact, I've had 2 different sample packs from them. But yeah, first element, I'm going to put in 1.5 ounces of gin. Next up, I thought this drink needed a Catholic element because, well, the Gunpowder Plot was a Catholic plot, and in my collection, the closest I could think that matched it was the Benedictine, which was originally created by monks, the Benedictine monks, apparently. I'm never really sure whether these stories are more marketing or truth, but this is the Catholic element of my Gunpowder Plot. I'm going to put 3/4 of an ounce, 22.5 mils of Benedictine in. I'm also going to add 1/2 ounce of orange juice, freshly squeezed. And you can see I've been peeling this for garnishes for old fashions that I've been making when doing online drinking with friends. So this one needs to be squeezed. So I'll use this and put in 1/2 ounce of freshly squeezed orange juice. I'm also adding 1/2 ounce of lime juice, but I'm using the different squeezer for this, and there's a very specific reason for it, because I want to use this husk as part of the drink, and this is the bit that's going to get dangerous. So I'm squeezing a lime to get 1/2 ounce of juice and keeping one of the husks. The recipe that I'm mostly basing this off said to use 1/2 ounce of egg white to make it a foamy cocktail. So you may want to use egg white. You might not like egg white. You might want to use aquafaba for a vegan option, Or something like this. I'm using a product called Wonder Foam, which if you can't find locally, you can probably find Wonder Foam or something similar online. I just need to put about 4 drops of the Wonder Foam in, and this will have the same effect as adding egg white. Give this a good solid shake. You want this to foam up, so whether you're using egg white, if you were using egg white, you probably want to do a dry shake it without ice, and then a wet shake. The same if you're using aquafaba. For the Wonder Foam, I just need to do the single shake, but I'm going to shake it hard for 15 or maybe even 20 seconds. Now we strain that into a chilled glass. I'm using a coupe. Got a nice little bit of foam on there. Now, we could stop here. This could be the drink, but I've got one more step to go. In fact, there's several steps. Step 1, the lime husk. Float it on the top. Hopefully it's going to float. It is floating. Now, we want some high octane alcohol in there. I'm using absinthe, but you want an overproof alcohol of some form into the lime husk. And then, now I'm getting really nervous. We're going to try and light that on fire. Is that going to work? I don't know. This is supposed to be 80% alcohol. Oh my god, I think it's burning with an invisible flame. Here we go with the Gunpowder Plot. I thought it was an invisible flame. Sprinkle some cinnamon on. And yes, hopefully that's showing up on the video. I'm terrified of this because the flame's invisible. Okay. I didn't burn down the kitchen! I'm not getting divorced! Well, not over this anyway. Look, for a laugh, I'm going to sink that so the absinthe is added to the drink. And let's give it a sip. That is actually really good. I don't often put orange juice in cocktails, but I saw one that had gin and Benedictine. It was called a Jubilant cocktail, and they said, hey, yeah, put lemon and orange juice in. I chose to go with lime, and I chose to add the absinthe part and sprinkle some cinnamon on top. So it's its own thing, the Gunpowder Plot. That is actually pretty good. And that's the first time I've been game to mess about with fire in a cocktail, honestly. Before you know it, I'll be doing a blue blazer or something equally ill-advised, but we'll see. So yes, if you're in the UK, I don't know if you can even have your fireworks events with COVID. Maybe you get to watch some from a distance. Maybe you just sit at home and watch something on TV. Make yourself a Gunpowder Plot cocktail, and that will ease some of the stress induced by COVID lockdowns if that's what you're facing. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed that. Be keen to see. I don't want to encourage anyone to use fire. It's dangerous. And also, if you ever do, be really, really, really sure to blow the fire out before attempting to drink it. Like if you're in a bar, they'd blow it out before you. My uncle used to do this really stupid drink of actually doing a shot of high proof alcohol that was on fire, and I don't know what he did to his mouth and his throat with that, or if he had some trick. But be careful with fire, okay? Look after yourself in general. I hope to see you again soon for some more cocktail adventures. For now, cheers.